Good day, everyone. For well over a century, movies have been part of our lives. From the grainy motion pictures they used to be to the high resolution movies they are today, they're so easily attainable it'd be hard not to watch a movie. Why do we love them? We love the story they tell us. Simpler times. Love's lost, love's gained, enemies, winners, losers, unimagined worlds, unexpected twists and turns. All these things add up to make a memorable movie. And the 1980s did not disappoint. A Christmas Story, Vacation, and Back to the Future are three memorable movies that were released in the 1980s. Let's begin with A Christmas Story. It's Christmas Story was released in November of 1983 with a budget of $4 million. It's set in the 1940s and around the holidays. 9-year-old Ralphie wants one thing for Christmas, a Red Ryder BB gun. With the coined phrase, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," his parents aren't really willing to let him have one. He, his family, and his friends go on about their adventures and their misfortunes, but it's portrayed in a funny light. Memorable moments would be his father bringing home this hideous leg lamp and wanting to display it in the front window for the whole entire neighborhood to see. The ever funny tongue on the frozen flagpole. The horrible, insulting outfits that his mother makes him wear. And little things like the pack of dogs that tear through the house and destroy their turkey dinner. Ralphie ends up with that Red Ryder BB gun. Does he shoot his eye out? If you've not seen the movie, I won't spoil it for you. Now, let's move on to Vacation. Vacation was released in July of 1983 with a budget of $15 million. It's a hilarious movie starring Chevy Chase and a family called the Griswolds, who are about to set sail across the country to a theme park called Wally World. They take us on this adventure with them. Clark nearly kills them while they're sleeping because he's flirting with the hottie in a sports car, who was played by Christy Brinkley. They stop at Uncle Eddie's along the way, only to display in the movie that that family is accustomed to a very different lifestyle than the Griswolds. They pick up Aunt Edna and her dog. The dog has peed on the picnic basket, but unbeknownst to them, until they are midway through their sandwiches, Aunt Edna ends up coming to her demise in this movie. She's sitting in the back seat with Rusty and Audrey. They, of course, do not want to continue riding with their dead aunt or great aunt in the back seat, so they proceed to put her on the rooftop. Of course, worried that she's going to get rained on, they put a tarp over her, and then they drop her off at her son's house. At last, they arrive at Wally World, only to find that it's closed. More misfortune and misadventures occur, and before you want it to be over, the movie is, and you find yourself with a permagrin and can't wait for the sequel. Lastly, let's talk about Back to the Future. Released in July of 1985 with a budget of $19 million, Back to the Future stars Michael J. Fox, who at the time was a heartthrob. As a high schooler, Marty McFly, who's played by Michael J. Fox, has a nerdy father and a loving, seemingly innocent mother. He has an eccentric friendship with a scientist named Doc, who has him running for his life in the DeLorean, which doubles as a time machine. He finds himself back in the 1950s, where more trouble awaits him. He inadvertently interferes with his parents' romance and finds that he and his family are fading away. He sets off to fix what he has done in a time that he's too advanced for and a time that's not ready for him. When I was doing research on this movie, I found that the script had been turned down 40 times. Disney had actually turned it down because there's a scene where Marty and his mother flirt with each other. I wonder if Disney regrets that decision. So in conclusion, there have been a lot of memorable movies made over the years. The 1980s released several, with A Christmas Story, Vacation, and Back to the Future being three of them. It's 2016. These movies are still known, still current, still talked about. I'd say that's memorable. Please see these important accreditations.